So a good conversation I had with one of you guys earlier is, if you know that you're thinking about wanting to implement something, ask yourself, am I near execution? Yes. Am I near to where I'm going to want to say now? Yes. Is that 3 weeks away? Yes. Then tell everybody now that 3 weeks away, you're probably going to be at execute. And then tell them what it is you want to see happen, so that they have a chance to get to the same phase you're at when you're ready to say now. You have an idea, okay? Ask yourself, do you want to be that done now in the next 30 days, soon 30 to 90 days, or later 90 plus days? That's all you should ask yourself. So let's role play, okay? So you're driving and you go, oh man, and you think about it, right? Boom! You know you want that done. So ask yourself, now, soon, or later? Andy, role play with me. When do you want that?
Within 30 days.
Within 30 days. So that one goes here. Okay? Then your next one goes here. Then your next one goes here. Then your next one goes here. Okay? How much money would a COO pay for this right here after a good 45-minute brainstorming with you, if I can get you to brain dump all your issues of what you want to see done now, soon, or later? How valuable would this chart be? And how many times do COOs sit down with their owners and say, let's talk in these terms? And let's make sure we're regularly visiting this every 2 weeks to make sure these top projects are what are governing everything we do. An exercise like this can create an incredible amount of alignment between owners and COOs and plan ahead. And look, it's whiteboard. You can put this where? You can put this anywhere. You know what? Now when I'm thinking about it, it really ought to be right here. You know what? This one over here really needs to be right here. As a matter of fact, I want this one done in 2 weeks. I want to see a game plan next week. Good. Now you're talking in terms of a good decision model. You're moving away from style one that says, idea now, whoop, squirrel now. Because that's what eats away at your leadership as owners. After about 8 weeks of having owners and COOs talk like this, you'll notice that the one who catches this better than anybody else is who? The owners. Because they realize how powerful this is, because they're now able to communicate and tell folks, hey guys, look what's coming down the pipeline. I want that, you know what I'm saying? So they get to realize that the more they put on a chart like this, or it can be a spreadsheet, the more the COO has said to them, I'll get everybody ready on soon and later if you talk to me in these terms. Oh, really? Oh, let's put this to test. Sure enough, it starts happening. Owners just eat this, and they carry that spreadsheet with them. And that spreadsheet could be an actual spreadsheet or a tick sheet, or it could be, sticky pat. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's 3 columns somewhere. Okay, we usually call it in the book that I wrote on this. I usually call it your top projects report or your top projects document. Okay, all right. So let's match them up real quickly. Your D personality is the one that does this. Easy to figure it out, right? All right. Your I personality, okay, is the ones that, your D and your I tend to be the ones that use this style. Style number 2. Okay. Then your third style, the one that says create, refine with a little push, they'll go to yes. It's usually the S personality. Okay. And then the fourth style, the one that says create, refine, and it's hard to move them out of that, is the C. So how do you move a C into agreeing with your plan? What should you do? Talk enthusiasm? No. Talk what? Facts and data. They will get very, very excited inside about data, and they will execute, but I really don't want their woohoo. I just need their honest, sincere approval, because they're the ones who are going to go convince the other high C's in the building. And when you can get one high C to calmly, introvertedly stare, but yet agree, you send them to go talk to all the other high C's and explain why it makes sense on paper. Okay, so what's the right decision? All right, so what's the right decision? What's the right style? Anybody want to take a guess at it? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Is it 1, 3, 2, 4? Is it 1, 4? Which one is it? Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. You create ideas, you advance them, you refine them, you have a back and forth fight for debates between refining and advancing, and then you move to execute. Okay, this is called the Z model because it looks like a Z. So if you look it up online, it's called the Z model of learning, the Z model of communication, the Z model of decision making. And it spells care, which is what I love about it, because it helps you care about people's ideas. Okay, so it's got an incredible amount of multi-platform usages: morale, engagement, communication, decision making, leadership style. Very powerful tool. It takes time, but just like in any sport, it takes practice for you to get really good at it. Well, don't give it up. I may not like his idea, okay, and I agree with him that that idea sucks, but I cannot let him refine his idea until I encourage him to do what? Advance. So it's being aware, and everybody participates in facilitating and catching each other. The top ones tend to be DC. The middle managers tend to be DI. Okay? Frontline supervisors and frontliners tend to be SCs. It's not a rule, but by and large, you can even go read on Gallup how that's the case. Most introverts find their way to the frontliners. Most extroverts make their way up the chain of command. And the gregarious individuals find their way in the middle because most of them are middle children. And so they're good at connecting big brothers to little brothers. And so, you know, it's interesting how it works. Right, yeah. When you get to level 5 management, everybody in the room has learned how to adapt a style that doesn't necessarily favor them. They're just more objective and more professional about decision making. They're more objective about decisions. It's business, not personal. Here's an exercise. You want to help folks be real humble? Okay? Sit them across each other for 3 minutes and tell one of them to come up with the wildest, craziest ideas and have the other one do nothing but advance and write them down. And then have everybody that was listening get up and explain the ideas that they heard as though it was their own. That's humility. And that's an exercise our logic teacher taught me in high school. Okay, you sit and listen, and then you turn around and explain it, and you explain it so well that everybody could think that it was your idea. You removed yourself from the game, and you're now representing somebody else's ideas. That takes a lot of humility, which is really the essence of leadership, is learning how to be able to say, hey boss, this is what they said. It's not, hey boss, this is what I'm interpreting they said. And usually the middle managers, they redefine because they didn't like what they heard, so they go tell the owners what they think, not what they actually heard. So the breakdown starts way early. Learn to say, we're now in this phase, we're now in recreation phase, we're now in advanced phase, okay? Use the phases, use the language, okay? Make sure everyone's moving together. Respect the process. Don't just let the urgency of the issue drive everything. Let the urgency of the process, let the consistency of the process govern the urgency of the decision. Support the decision, improve presenting, okay?